What's happening, everybody? Brandon Graham joined alongside 9-time X Games medalists, 3 of them gold, Mr. Scotty Cranmer, and we are very excited to unveil for the first time our park course. So without further ado, there it is. Initial thoughts.
My initial thoughts, I think there's a lot of options on this course. I think they did a really great job of mixing it up. For all the past park courses, you look at it, you're like, oh, I might have something to do here, maybe over there. But right here, all the riders that are going to be looking at this are going to be very pleased with what they're seeing. So right now, we're going to go over some of the highlights of the things that are standing out to me. The first thing we're going to talk about is the box jump area. And the box jump, the importance of that one, we all know that's where the big tricks happen. So the guys that are seeing this on the course, they know that the bigger tricks are going to be able to come out, possibly double backflips, maybe the 720 bar spin, the bar spin that Logan brought last year as well. And there's also a lot of different things that you wouldn't really see on a park course. So look at this transition over here. I like the difference. It's got the pool coping that goes around the deep part, but you can see the orange coping area right here is offset. It's set back. So that's going to open up lines, transferring in and out of that. But also on here, there's a lot of different plexiglass spots. There's a quarter pipe that goes to the bank, so there's going to be a lot of options to do big flare variations. And then if you come over to this side, there's another one right here. And then there's even a spine that's made out of plexiglass, which I'm really excited to see in person. But one of the craziest things, I think, is going to be over in this corner. Right here in the Wendy's area, there's an extension out of the deep bowl. So this deep bowl is usually about 8 to 9 feet already. So if I do my math, that's going to be about 12 or 13 feet. And that could be a potential foot jam fakie for Dennis Anderson to do at the end of his run.
Wild. Okay, so I got all that. That's a great breakdown. So the gold medal question. Who is this course catered to?
So looking at this course, my initial thought, the gold medal will none other be Logan Martin, back to back. He is going to break the curse of the 9 different medalists in BMX Park that have not been able to go back to back, and I think it's going to be Logan.
Wow, you heard it here. Well, Scotty and I will be out there. Hope you will too. Catch the guys in action at X Games Minneapolis.
Yes! Oh my God!
360! Oh my God!
Oh, yes!
The world's biggest action sports festival returns to the land of 10,000 lakes. It'll be the 3rd year of this history-making event at US Bank Stadium.
Let's go! The human cheat code is back. Wow!
New musical performances at the Armory featuring The Blind Shake, Chevy Metal, Diplo, Incubus, POS, Swimmers, and the Wu-Tang Clan.
That was the run we were waiting for. The fans on their feet here in the stadium. This event always pushes the boundaries of progression.
X Games Minneapolis, August 1st through 4th.
And we're back. Scotty Cranmer sitting down with us to talk all things BMX at X Games Minneapolis. Let's kick things off with the event that kicks things off at X Games. I'm talking about Vert. And I've just been told that it's actually indoors for the first time in 8 years. It's going to be at the Armory where all the music's going down. But let's talk about the players. Vince Byron, Jamie Bestwick. What a battle those two have put on over the past 5 years.
Epic battle, to say the least. You have the best vert rider of all time in Jamie Bestwick, and you also have the only up-and-coming guy that is going to challenge Jamie every single competition he enters. Both of these guys are riding at such high level. You got Jamie's tricks that he can go both ways, and he's inventing tricks, Jamie, over countless years. Then you have Vince Byron that goes out and perfects the perfect run to compete with Jamie Bestwick. But like you were saying, it's indoor this year, and that's going to change everything because now the guys don't have to worry about anything else but their runs. They don't have to worry about rain. They don't have to worry about wind. It's all about just landing smooth and getting the best tricks.
Let's move on to the streets. Garrett Reynolds back in familiar territory. It had been a couple of events, but reclaiming gold, something he knows all too well on the X Games stage at X Games Shanghai just a little while ago.
In crazy fashion as well. He went out there and made a statement. He rode absolutely amazing. All of his runs just kept on going up and up from the start in Shanghai. So going into Minneapolis, he clearly is going to be the guy to beat. He's been that way since he started out doing X Games, but he's on a level right now that just keeps on going and going in a direction nobody even thought possible when it comes to BMX Street.
How frustrating is it for a guy like Chad KERLEY, who in any other era, let's say, might have 5 or 6 gold medals to his name. Instead, he has just 2 because he's one of 2 guys who have actually beat Garrett Reynolds.
It's got to be frustrating. You know, you're going out there, you're trying to do your best riding, and sometimes your best riding isn't even enough because there's a guy that's on a whole different level than anybody else when it comes to the competition form of BMX Street. But at the same time, when you have that kind of rivalry, that's how you push each other to get to the next step.
Park. Logan Martin winning gold. He has been on a bit of a run when you look at his X Games career. A couple of silvers in the event, now gold last summer. There was so much parity into this event. Do you think now Logan is the leader of the clubhouse, or is it still wide open?
You know what, even though Logan hasn't been on the top of the podium, he's always been this leader of the event for the last few years because in my opinion, BMX Park, we both know this, it's the most open area of X Games pretty much. We've had 9 different gold medalists in 9 years. It started with me in 2012, which I'm very proud of.
Yeah, as you should.
But Logan Martin has been there at that podium spot. He's been a contender the whole time. And just to have that kind of consistency, I think that puts him on the top. And going into Minneapolis, Logan is definitely going to be one of the keys to claim another gold because he's going to show up, and looking at the course looks like it can be Logan Martin's course for sure.
Speaking of Logan Martin and gold, we thought he might go 2 for 2 in Minneapolis in dirt. He looked like he was untouchable until Brandon LOUPOS's epic last run.
That competition was absolutely insane, and like you said, it came down to the last run with Brandon LOUPOS. But Logan Martin's tricks were right there with Brandon LOUPOS. Like, it was so back-to-back, it was so close, and Logan has what it takes to show up to Minneapolis and get a gold medal for the first time in dirt. But the course is changing this year. There is no quarter pipe, so that's going to mix things up big time because the guys that are transferring over from park over to dirt with the big tricks, and you don't have that option to, you know, put the exclamation point on your run and get that quarter pipe trick, that's going to make a big difference. That opens up the door again for guys like David Godzik to show up and claim another gold medal. And it's crazy, he's just coming off of a podium on the mountain bikes in the Crankworks, which was absolutely insane. So I'm so excited to see how it goes down in Minneapolis.
I'm so excited to check out the BMX Big Air final. X Games Shanghai just a few weeks ago, we saw progression in real time. Ryan Williams continues to rewrite the record books with scooter tricks that he's perfecting and bringing out onto a bike on this stage. And we're seeing him do tricks we've never seen before. But oh wait, MYKEL LARRIN's right there and Morgan Wade have something to say about that. I feel a battle of brewing.
So BMX Big Air is the craziest thing. I'm a BMX rider and I know what BMX Big Air is, and I show up there and I get butterflies every time it starts. It's insane. But Ryan Williams has figured it out. He's got that front flip flare like he did in that final run so high up. That's where he got the respect out of all the BMX competitors, you know, not only in Big Air, but the whole entire sport looked at him and said, okay, you're one of us.
Right.
So going into Minneapolis, you know, you have the drop-in being used. We got Morgan Wade doing a double tail whip drop-in over in Shanghai. So now going into this, we're gonna see more of that. And I saw Ryan Williams on top of the roll-in. He was eyeing up something, and I talked to him about it, and I said, you know, what were you doing up there? And he's like, I got something in store for Minneapolis. So going into this event, not only can we see the progression happen on the gap and on the quarter pipe, but now we have the drop-in that's actually going to be part of the competition now for the guys.
Let me ask you this, and now we're starting to see more riders utilizing that drop-in. Now initially the judges said, hey, that's not a part of it, we're not going to penalize somebody, but now given the fact that the field seems to be favoring it and realizing that there's possibilities with this, do you think that will change the way they're judged?
Yes, I spoke to the judges and they said it's going to count for overall impression. So whatever that means, I don't necessarily know, but that's not going to take the guys, you know, taking a step back from not messing with that drop-in. That tail-up that Morgan did blew my mind. When he did the double tail-up, we were sitting there in the booth, and I grabbed your arm. I couldn't even handle it. Yeah. I didn't even
Kung Fu grip,
I didn't even think it was possible. I honestly was in shock on that one. And like I said, Ryan Williams, he's ready to step it up and get involved.
Wild, man. Well, I cannot wait. It all goes down, obviously, next week at US Bank Stadium. Scotty, thank you so much. When we return, X Games gold medalist Colby Raha joins us to break all things moto. Stick around.
I'm Dennis Anderson, and I live in San Diego, California. The whole idea with starting the Unclicked podcast was through doing my first podcast called the Rollback Podcast, and I got a bunch of good response from friends saying, man, that was cool. And so the idea just kept generating and turned into the Unclicked podcast. There's so many cool BMX riders that I know, and their stories are so amazing to me, and we spend the whole day together, and I kind of collect information from them, and then we sit down and have a one-on-one conversation for hours. It's these really organic conversations that, even if I wasn't recording them, are so cool to me, like just getting to know somebody. It's like this way of getting the person's personality out there and letting them express whatever they want. Yeah, these podcasts just keep getting more and more fun and more natural, and I can't wait to keep doing more.